For most children, the family is the most important socialization context, especially in early years. So let's continue our lecture about socialization with life at home. We'll first look at the role of parents. In the next section, we'll explore the contribution of other family members like siblings and grandparents. Later on, we'll examine the effects of different family arrangements such as divorce, remarriage, and blended families. Parenting styles. Researchers studying parenting practices aim to understand two main things: how parenting varies between families and what impact these differences have on children's development. They identify two key dimensions that distinguish parenting styles. The first one is parental warmth, which looks at the emotional tone of parenting. The second is parental control, which involves how much parents monitor, supervise, and regulate their children. Positive outcomes are often linked to high warmth and reasonable control. One of the most notable scholars in this field is Diana Baumrind. She identifies three primary parenting styles: authoritative, authoritarian, and permissive. The uninvolved or neglectful parenting style was added by researchers Eleanor McCoby and John Martin in the 1980s. Authoritative parenting style: high warmth, high control. Parents who adopt an authoritative style are both caring and firm. They set clear limits and explain why they expect certain behaviors from their children. This approach helps children understand the reason behind rules and expectations. Children raised by authoritative parents tend to be curious, self-confident, and well-behaved. They usually do well in school, are popular with a friend, and listen to their parents. These children have high self-esteem and are less likely to engage in deviant activities, such as drug use. An example is a parent who sets clear household chores but gives their child choices about which tasks they want to be responsible for. For instance, they might say, "You can choose to either take out the trash or do the dishes tonight. Which one would you prefer?" This method allows the child to feel a sense of autonomy while still adhering to the family rules. Authoritarian parenting style: low warmth and high control. Parents who adopt an authoritarian style are very demanding and often control their children using threats and punishment. This strict approach can lead to children feeling anxious, easily upset, and lacking in self-confidence. When frustrated, these children might become angry and aggressive. Research shows a correlation between children's aggression and punitive parenting. However, when parents shift to a less punitive style, their children often become less aggressive. An example of an authoritarian parent is a parent who demands perfect grade and uses threats to enforce this expectation. If the child brings home a report card with less than perfect marks, the parent might respond with a severe punishment, such as grounding the child for a month. This high-pressure environment can cause the child to feel constantly stressed and fearful of making mistakes. Permissive parenting style: high warmth, low control. Parents who adopt a permissive style are loving and sensitive but often don't set limits or provide much structure. This can lead to children becoming impulsive, immature, and disobedient. They might rely too much on adults, struggle to persist when faced with challenges, and often don't perform well in school. As they reach adolescence, these children are more likely to engage in rebellious and antisocial behaviors. Imagine a parent who takes their child shopping and buys them whatever they ask for without setting any limits. If the child wants a toy, candy, or new clothes, the parent always says yes to avoid any conflict or tantrums. This indulgent behavior can lead to the child struggling with self control and patience. Uninvolved parenting style: low warmth, low control. Parents who adopt an uninvolved style set few limits and provide little attention, interest, or emotional support. This lack of involvement can lead to children developing insecure attachment, struggling in school, and being more likely to engage in risky behavior, such as drug use or criminal activities during these teenage years. Imagine a parent who is often absent, either physically or emotionally. They might be preoccupied with work or personal issues and rarely engage with the child. The child comes home from school, but there is no one to ask about the day, help with homework, or provide guidance. This lack of support and structure can leave the child feeling neglected and alone, leading to difficulties in forming healthy relationships and making positive life choices. Ethic and cultural differences. The benefits of authoritative parenting are often smaller or less consistent in population other than middle-income Western Caucasians. Authoritarian parenting is more common in other cultural or ethnic groups, especially those that emphasize respect for elders and close supervision of children. This style is also more common and more understandable in dangerous and poverty-stricken areas. Children tend to go well under the authoritarian style when they perceive it as an expression of love. The role of fathers. For a long time, research on parenting mainly focused on mothers. Recently, however, scholars have started to look more closely at the role of fathers. Generally, fathers tend to be less involved in basic caregiving tasks compared to mothers. Instead, they are often more engaged in physical play and stimulation. These differences can vary depending on how egalitarian a society is. Interestingly, infants are just as likely to form a secure attachment with their fathers as with their mothers. Fathers play a crucial role in their children's cognitive development, and the impact of father-child relationship is similar to that of mother-child relationships. The child's contribution. When studying child-parent relationships, it's often assumed that parents are the main influence on outcomes. However, recent research shows that children also play a significant role in this dynamic. For example, children with difficult temperaments might receive more care initially, but less as they grow older. Studies suggest that developmental outcomes are the result of ongoing interaction between parent and child. A child's behavior can elicit responses from parents that either reinforce or discourage certain behaviors, setting the stage for future interaction. When there is a good fit between the child temperament and the parent's approach, even challenging children can have positive outcomes. Conversely, a poor fit can lead to behaviors that predict more problematic outcomes for both the parent and the child.